Alright, welcome back everybody to some more DCS, and this time I'm back here in the DCS F-15E Strike Eagle, and yes, I know it's a dead module. It'll never be fixed, it'll never be updated, it will never truly reach its pinnacle, but I'm gonna keep flying it until it breaks, because even with its lack of features compared to the more up-to-date aircraft like the F-16 and the F-18, it is still my most favorite aircraft to fly in the game, bar none. Until the F-15C comes out, the full fidelity one that Eagle Dynamics had promised, I will be flying the F-15E until it breaks. And so in this video, what I decided to do was to go out a bunch of times over a course of several days and just do low altitude bombing runs on the Contention SARH server. And this first clip is not my first sortie. I just thought it would be interesting because I took off from Bashar al-Assad on the Syria map to go strike some of the oil rigs that are off the coast, because I'd never done that before. And there was a J-11 out there, and we were kind of playing chicken with each other. He just fired an R-27R way outside of parameters there, so I just chucked an AIM-9 at him and turned cold. But we play chicken a little bit, and I win the chicken fight because he just stays cold too long, and I'm able to close in on him and get the kill, which will be pretty sweet. But it was super fun actually doing this particular run here because, you know, I know a lot of people like the terrain following radar, and it has its uses for sure, certainly in very bad weather conditions in hilly terrain, but I just freehand the Strike Eagle, flying it super low. I don't, it's just so much more fun to ride the air cushion just above the ground with your own hand than it is to just let the radar do it. You know, I'm much more hands-on in that way. And here, I mean, I was trying to fly like, you know, 30, 40 feet over the water at times. But here, first instance, or this is the actual part where I win that chicken fight, because he ends up recommitting, not able to pick me up. I lock him up, and I actually scare him in doing this, so he turns out cold. So I'm just going to unlock him and track him with my heat seeker to get him to turn back around, thinking that, you know, I'm not tracking him anymore, which of course I am. You can see the seeker head tracking him. But anyways, in this particular flight, I mean, I've got 4 AIM-9s, and I think I just have 6 2,000-pound Mark 84s, just default Mark 84s, because I was going after those oil rigs. I didn't really know exactly how much punishment they could take, and so I was just going to do a pop-up attack, because low-level overhead attack on an oil rig is probably not the best. Anyways, Fox 2 right there, first one. That one actually is the one that connects and kills him, but I go ahead and do a little bit of stern converting, which ultimately doesn't really work out, and I just fire a third and final one that I didn't really need to shoot. But anyways, that was a good kill right there on a J-11 in the Strike Eagle. A little bit of scumdogging? A little bit of scumbagging by being super low, but here, starting my run on the oil rigs, and I did not know that they actually had air defenses, even though it's just AAA stuff. I did not know they had any sort of AAA air defenses. Those giant white masts that sit out on top, I thought those were some sort of like racing balloon, or the blow up like racing air racing cones or whatever they use. You know what I'm talking about, like the giant air cones. So when they started opening fire at me, I was like, oh my god, I hope I survive this. And I ended up getting one good drop, but as I pull away here, I take a real mean hit right there. Yeah, a couple of rounds, no idea what caliber those weapons are, but you know, I'm starting to list a little bit to the left, so I'm like, oh man, they probably damaged something, but my systems are fine and everything, and there goes the wing. It is gone. And so I just decided to drop my ordnance here and try to fly home, which I do successfully land on a single wing here, as you'll see in a second. But anyways, you know, the Strike Eagle is, again, still very near and dear to my heart. I think it still has its place in DCS, even if it's not the most capable aircraft, because of the lack of super modern technology that the, you know, Frankenstein F-18 and F-16 have in the game, or especially like the JF-17 or something like that. But it still has great tech to it. It's still very capable, and most importantly, it still works. And as long as it still works, I'm going to keep playing it. Now, as far as what I'm doing back, making videos for YouTube, well, you know, I just kind of wanted to, I guess, be a little bit more relaxed when it came to the content creation. I still do want to make some tutorial stuff. I apologize for all those holdouts that want me to continue the F-14 and the F-4 series. I'm just not super passionate about those projects right now, but we'll see, of course. Right now, I'm currently working on getting footage for the brand new MiG-29A Fulcrum, the full fidelity one, because I did pre-order it, and I've already got a couple of clips for it, but I'd like to get quite a few more. All these Strike Eagle clips, by the way, are from before the full fidelity MiG-29 came out, so you're not going to see me fighting any of those. So yeah, coming back to YouTube slowly but surely. You know, I kind of just didn't want to upload any more videos. I just wasn't passionate about it. I was recording footage, and I just didn't like the footage. I sat down to try and, you know, type up scripts for tutorial videos and stuff like that, and I just couldn't do it. I genuinely couldn't think of ways to make good content. You know, content that I would watch, right? I don't make these videos, or for the most part, I make these videos to help other people out or simply to entertain, but I don't make videos that I wouldn't watch myself. You know, the first thing I do is I do a vanity watch. As soon as I upload the video, I watch it all the way through, just to make sure that nothing's wrong, and you know, that everything I wanted to have in it was in there. Right. Why don't I do that before uploading? I just skip through the video to make sure that it's all good. But yeah, I just didn't feel it. I wasn't having fun making any videos, any content. But I've still been flying DCS. It's not like I stopped. I very nearly stopped earlier this year. Unfortunately, the squadron that I was running, Alamo, the Alamo Aggressor Squadron, I formally disbanded the squadron back actually on April 1st, April Fool's Day. Unfortunately, it was on that exact day, and so it was you know, it was kind of just out of the blue. There was really no signs, I guess, to other teams, but you know, we had been struggling for a while to you know, make participation numbers, and we just weren't really having fun in the team, and I couldn't keep it going, unfortunately. So I decided to disband the squadron for good, but you do still see me repping the squadron skin. Of course, I still have the skins that I made myself, and I'm gonna wear them whenever I'm just flying casually. But the team's gone, and in the meantime, I went ahead and joined a different team, the 64th Aggressors team. They're a very, very long-standing team. They've been around since before I even started playing DCS. You know, some of those guys have been flying since like the early 2010s or even earlier. They're a super, super old team. And so I'm a part of them now, and I think I'm carving out a good niche and having a lot of fun flying over there. You know, really just being a good teammate over there instead of worrying about being a team leader. So yeah, and also, of course, you know, real life stuff. I'm still going through college. Had to change my major, so I'm working on new coursework material. I moved into my own place this past summer, so I'm completely living on my own for the first time in my entire life, and very happy about it. And I mean, that's pretty much it. I'm just kind of living my life and whatnot. So yeah, I don't know exactly how long I'll be spieling about all this stuff, but at the very least, I do want to go through my DCS F-15E Strike Eagle, I guess workflow is what you could call it, because I don't have a backseater. I'm doing all this solo, right? I hear there's pretty bad two-seat desync in the Strike Eagle right now, and obviously that's never going to get fixed because of, you know, the whole RASBAM deal, which a bunch of videos got leaked recently. I haven't watched them myself personally, but they're pretty damning to both RASBAM and Eagle Dynamics, whichever way you want to look at it, right? I think Eagle Dynamics, from the summaries I've read from some of my other buddies watching the videos, you know, it just was Eagle Dynamics is greedy and whatnot, and RASBAM is dumb or something like that. So, like, you know, something around like that. Nick Gray is greedy and Ron Zambrano is too naive. But as far as the Strike Eagle is concerned, in the first few, the first few sorties that I flew, I was taking Mark 82 Snake Eyes, because I'd never dropped them before. I never used them, but I wanted some. I knew they were good for low-level attacks, being high-drag bombs. So took, you know, just the full 12 that you can take on the belly, not including the centerline tank or centerline pylon or the wing pylons. I don't take the wing fuel tanks because I'm not, you know, these are very, very quick sorties. I'm usually only burning through about like 10,000 to 12,000 pounds of gas from takeoff to recovery. And initially I was even downloading. There's some tracer fire from Bashilka right there, but I was even downloading my fuel to be lighter when I get back. But anyways, yeah, so Mark 82 Rock Eyes, dropping all 12 of them in a... I was originally doing Ripple multiple with like a really short delay time between pulses, and it just wasn't getting a lot of spread, and you could even see in the radar designator, or the air-to-ground radar, when I'm designating the targets, I'm designating at the very end, because in my mind, I'm like, that's where the bomb line starts, and it'll end at some point beyond that, but I very quickly, or it took me a way longer to do, but I wisen up, and I'm like, okay, I just need to designate the very center of what I want to hit, because it'll, you know, throw everything across that line. But that first run there that we just did on this specific depot, because I'm attacking FARP depots in all this, was a complete failure. I think because it was the depot itself was kind of on a hill, so and I was coming from a lower elevation area that the aircraft just thought I was much lower, and so dropped the bombs early, which totally messed up my run. And so here I'm going to come back in, and I'm going to come and be a little bit higher. But unfortunately, there's a Mirage 2000 stalking me. As you can see at the EWR, he's nose hot about, I can't really tell how far because I have the playback really tiny, but, you know, he's inside of 20 miles, you know, medium altitude or almost low altitude. And he is just hunting me. He's trying to get me, and there's really nothing I can do against that. This specific instance and a few other instances, I think I did 12 total sorties, 8 of which you're seeing. The other 4 I died before even like getting anywhere near the target area, because the fighter cover was just so oppressive, and it almost made me switch out to carrying 2 Sparrows instead of extra bombs. But for this one, I can't remember if this is the one I swapped out my bomb load for. We'll see when I turn in. No, okay, I was still using Mark 82s there. I believe immediately after this I switch over to Mark 84 And there's the Mirage. There he is. It knocks off my wing, and I continue to try to fly. But I think immediately after this, I switched to Mark 84s with the Mark 84 Air, the ones with the like balloon parachute thing or whatever on them, because I was like, okay, well, these 500-pound bombs don't have a lot of explosion to them, so I don't know if they're damaging the building. I do know they're destroying all the like small stuff, but because of the splash script I believe this server has, the 2,000-pound bomb should do a lot better. So from here on out, I'm taking 6 Mark 84 Airs, 4 on the belly and 2 on the wing pylons, and I'm just doing a ripple single drop at I think 100 millisecond spacing. And so when you're coming over at 550 to 600 knots, anywhere between 2 and 300 feet, as I do here, and you designate the very center of a depot, you blow up the entire thing. Like, genuinely, I think I don't think you kill it outright, but, I think here, I cut it out, but after this specific run, I think it's this run. It might be the next one, but after one of these runs, I got so many kills that people in the chat were telling me to calm down. Some I think it was Grunt Life from the BFG team. He saw me doing all these runs, and he told me to chill out with it. But yeah, so 6 2,000-pound bombs here. With really good spacing. You're going to see how far they spread out over there. Actually, they hit literally everything straight down the middle, and they just tear it up. Very, very good, very effective. So I think if you have 2 Strike Eagles doing this exact thing, you could easily, just one pass each, knock out an entire red depot. Super, super simple. And as far as my workflow is concerned, I brought that up a long time ago, and I never actually went through it. I'm just taking off, flying out to up to about 20 to 25,000 feet, and then trying to get within 40 miles of a depot that I want to hit, and then just looking for the actual depot. I don't designate the depot itself with a waypoint. I like to spend a little time looking, and so just try to get within 40 miles so you can get that maximum resolution scan. You get that max scan. Go ahead and freeze with your left multifunction pinky switch on the throttle, and just designate the very center of the red depot, and make sure your bombs are set up. Again, I recommend Mark 84s, Mark 84 Airs with the in ripple single with 100 millisecond ripple spacing. There's a nice F-16 kill, and you will just clear out red depots so easily. As soon as I'm able to get the target designated, I go ahead and I just hit the deck at about 30 miles out, and I just cruise, do a little bit of an arc, somewhere between 10 and 20 miles from the target to line up straight down long ways. This specific strike was a little precarious because there was a red airfield just like I think 2 or 3 miles immediately past in the direction that I'm looking, and so I was hoping to not get shot down by like a Tor or something that was there. But for some reason, I don't know why, I didn't touch anything, but my you'll see the bomb drop line disappeared. So even though the target's still designated and everything, I just lost the bomb drop line here. Time to target still counting down and everything, but I'm not going to get an actual time to release thing. I'm not going to know when to push the button. So I kind of just release it, and I think my bombs drop long here. Totally just borking this run. But that's pretty much my workflow. Just get up in the air, moderate altitude, find the target, designate it on the ground, and try to line up on it. Yeah, my bombs fall pretty long here, but because they're 2,000 pounders, I still get a lot of damage. But yeah, just line up on it, come in. You don't do afterburner, just full mill power, and you're almost super cruising, even with 12,000 pounds of bombs on the jet on the deck. This thing is such a beast, and I really love it. So yeah, as far as more Strike Eagle content, in the future. I do want to kind of just, you know, do everything there is to do in it. So next video, I will either be doing some sort of laser-guided bombing, plinking, or SAM hunting. One of my most favorite things to do in this is to use the CBUs 87, typically the 97, just because it's they're more likely to actually kill vehicles, which are typically what you're going to run into, SA-11s, 6s, TORs, etc. And I love to fly around until I get shot at, and then immediately designate the ground where they are with the targeting pod, and you know, just hug the dirt and come in and toss those bombs at like a 30-degree angle right at them and peel away and just kill the whole site. And so yeah, that's probably what I'll be doing next. Either, like I said, either the laser-guided bombing, plinking, or SAM hunting. Probably the SAM hunting. The laser-guided bombing, plinking stuff, I don't know if it's just me, but it's really hard, or there's some issue with actually changing the laser codes on the bombs, or maybe I'm just being dumb. But I'm having difficulty with that. And when you're talking about a PvP environment, especially when you're flying solo, you don't really have the time to strap 8, you know, GBU-12s on you and do 8 passes over a single target area before someone comes and shoots you down, right? You get like 2 passes typically, and then a guy's gonna hop on you unless you're, you know, flying around while the server's dead. So, you know, probably gonna do the other one, but I really want to do everything that I can in this aircraft until it breaks. So next thing is probably going to be some toss bombing, hopefully. I did some low-level bombing. Now it's time for some toss bombing. And then, you know, we'll move on to air-to-air, because of course it can still do air-to-air. Not semi-active radar homing stuff, not Sparrow stuff, but Fox 3 for sure. But I will try to get the Sparrows going. And of course, like I said, MiG-29 footage coming as well. I very much anticipated that aircraft, and it is pretty fun to fly, although there are some bugs. But it's a good aircraft, I think. And yeah, there's some other stuff in the pipeline that I'm working on as well and planning. Some non-DCS related stuff, some more DCS tutorial stuff, and informational stuff on DCS, and you know, maybe I'll continue the F4 and F14 tutorials, but I really have to dig into those aircraft. I'm just not familiar with them anymore like I was when I was doing the tutorials, especially the F14. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys are happy that I'm back. I'm happy to be back. Well, I hope I'm happy to be back. And yeah, thank you guys so very much for watching, and have a nice day.